Independent schools forever wrangle with how do we fairly deal with requests for financial aid. If you're a private tuition-based program, there will always be someone either applying to your program or in your program who has a change of fortune and who suddenly needs financial aid if they are to stay in your program. Things that deal with money are hard for Montessori teachers in particular and educators. And so whenever it's tuition related or financial aid related, as much as possible I encourage a separation between office and classroom. It's great if you have an office person who can be the liaison for anything relating to tuition and especially for scholarships or financial aid support for families, so that the people who deal with the classroom day to day don't have to interface with parents about money. It's not always possible. If you are a one-person shop, you are the teacher, you are the administrator, you are the janitor, and you have a small school, you might be it. And so then you have to make your own separation. But if you have a larger operation, and even if it's someone who is giving your words to the families, you're the one giving all the instructions, they are the voice that the family hears. It can be someone who's very simply answering phones for you in the office, but they're the ones who handle tuition collection, and they're the ones who handle any questions about scholarships, any details about financial aid. Like with any other administrative procedure in a school, I think financial aid is a sensitive topic and needs procedures around it to make people feel comfortable about what the expectations are, and to help those asking for that support to know that it will be handled confidentially and fairly. That it's not you're giving preference to who has the cuter kid or which parent has coochie-cooed you the most, or you don't want it to seem like there's any kind of favoritism going on. So one of the best ways of creating boundaries, healthy boundaries, is to use an outside service to provide scholarship analysis. There are two services that I know and recommend very often. One is SSS, the National Association for Independent Schools, and the other is called FAST. Both are excellent services, and both I would recommend, and I'm sure there are other services out there that do this as well, but what those services do is they provide the in-between. A family who is interested in pursuing a financial aid support from an independent school, the school is registered with this association, the family goes online, submits their documentation for why they merit or they believe they merit financial aid for sending their child to the school, and the service provides the school a report. Within the school, if you're using one of these services, or if you're not, I encourage administrators to define a 2 to 3 person scholarship committee, ideally 3 people. The person who collects and handles tuition should probably be a part of this committee and needs to be someone who is absolutely trustworthy and confidential, holding of confidentiality. The head of school, one other person, ideally not a teacher, but someone who can be trusted and respected by the parent community. Sometimes it's good to have that publicly known. Sometimes it's okay to just have it be named the scholarship committee. But it should be people who would stand up to scrutiny if it were ever questioned. Well, who makes these decisions? Well, it's our scholarship committee, which consists of these 3 carefully selected people. And this is why they were selected for this role. And then have a procedure written for families who ask about it. How do I apply for a scholarship? Don't have it be willy-nilly. You don't want them feeling like you're the maker or the breaker of their request. That might be the case, but it shouldn't be the impression that's given. Tuition, money, and educational purpose should be separated. And as a head of school, I encourage you to see your main role as being the educational visionary for the organization. Education is what we do. The business side we do because it helps make the education possible. It's not the main focus of what we do. So don't be the queen bee. You don't have to own that decision. You can put it within the scholarship committee. Well, the scholarship committee, based on the report that was given from FAST or from SSS, was able to allot, from all the requests that we had, was able to allot so much for your family. each family only hears about their own family situation. They don't get to hear the bigger picture. They might hear the total amount that was allotted to financial aid, but they shouldn't be hearing what other families are receiving at all. Because if they hear what other families are receiving, they're thinking, oh gosh, now they're talking to other people about what I've asked for. And that just breaks the relationship.